Shedeur Sanders has sold the most amount of jerseys out of any rookie.
This is the first time in history that a fifth-round pick has led jersey sales.
Yeah.
Nobody is watching third, fourth round as much as we.
Hold up, listen to this. Nike did not anticipate this. Not at this magnitude, not this quickly, and definitely not before a single 2026 regular season snap has even been played. Right now, the supply chain is under pressure, production lines are pushed to the limit, and Nike is doing something you rarely see, reaching out to outside manufacturers and teaming up with other partners just to keep up with demand that completely blew past every forecast they had. The Shedeur Sanders #2 Cleveland Browns jersey is moving at a pace that has one of the world's biggest sportswear giants scrambling. And the crazy part? The season hasn't even started yet. Let that really sink in. This isn't some post-Super Bowl frenzy. This isn't a championship push causing a late merch spike. This is a quarterback who hasn't played a single 2026 regular season game wearing a number he just got back on March 30th, creating demand so wild that Nike's current system can't even keep up. Stores are running out, online lines are backed up, and Nike is rushing to bring in outside help just to produce and distribute fast enough to keep things under control. And what makes this even more insane is where Shedeur Sanders already was before #2 even came back into the picture. Last season, rocking number 12, a number that wasn't even his because DeAndre Carter already had his preferred number, he still dominated sales. Shedeur Sanders ended up with the top-selling jersey in the entire NFL among his 2025 draft class. Read that again. The 144th overall pick, a fifth-round selection that shocked everybody, outsold every quarterback taken before him. He also outsold every skill position player drafted ahead of him. And he did all of that wearing a number that didn't even represent who he really is.
This is the first time in history that a fifth-round pick has led jersey sales.
Yeah.
Nobody is watching third, fourth round as much as we would.
Listen to this. That number 12 jersey selling like that wasn't just impressive. It was a whole warning sign that Nike and the entire NFL merch space should have taken way more seriously. Because those numbers were basically screaming to anyone paying attention that Shedeur Sanders was moving on a completely different commercial level than his draft spot suggested. The market had already made its decision about him. The fans had already cast their votes with their wallets. And the moment DeAndre Carter got released on March 30th, 2026, freeing up #2, those same fans who'd been waiting pulled up all at once. Shedeur Sanders hit X with it. No long speech, no press run, no big rollout, just the number, just 2. And the internet went crazy. People who had been holding off for over a year instantly flooded online stores. Cleveland Browns fans who already bought number 12 jerseys started asking about swaps and exchanges. And the traffic hitting Shedeur's jersey pages? It spiked to levels retail systems honestly weren't built to handle in real time. Nike didn't have nearly enough number 2 jerseys ready. Their whole plan? Gradual rollout, controlled production, steady availability. Yeah, that got thrown out the window within hours of that post. This wasn't slow demand building up. This wasn't steady growth. This was a full-on wave of demand crashing into the market all at once, and Nike just wasn't ready for it. So what does Nike do when demand goes crazy like this? They look outside. Reports say they've already extended deals to partner manufacturers and brought in outside collaborators to help handle the volume. And trust me, that's not something a company like Nike does casually. That's basically them admitting their system, even as advanced as it is, got caught slipping. And the reason it caught them off guard, nobody fully understood the cultural and commercial power behind that #2 for Shedeur Sanders and his fan base. Because this ain't just the number on a jersey. This is part of his identity, going all the way back to Trinity Christian High School in Texas. This is the foundation of his too legendary brand. Something he built with intention long before the NFL was even on the table. The Colorado Buffaloes football retired his jersey before he even played an NFL snap. 2 years of Jackson State Tigers football with his father, Deion Sanders, then 2 record-breaking seasons at Colorado, where he turned that program into must-watch TV every weekend. And through all of it, number 2 never changed. That was the brand. That was the identity. That was the promise. So when Nike prints a Browns jersey with number 2 and Sanders on the back, they're not just selling gear. They're selling a cultural moment that millions of people want to be a part of. And the market made one thing very clear. People are willing to pay, and they're willing to wait. But what they're not willing to hear is out of stock.
Congrats to Shedeur. Shout out to Shedeur for making the Pro Bowl. That's something that regardless, nobody can take from you. Like being a draft pick, nobody can take that from you. Your first touchdown pass, nobody can take that from you. Congrats to Shedeur for making the Pro Bowl. With all due respect, who would have thought when he was drafted and being prank called by individuals who wanted to make him feel lesser than?
Listen, this isn't even the first time Shedeur Sanders has had Nike scrambling to keep up. His signature shoes already went viral before, creating a surge of attention that caught the entire industry off guard and still ended up making Nike a ton of money. That moment should have been the blueprint. That was the proof right there, showing just how fast this dude's influence can shift the market. Now, with the jersey situation, it's that same energy, just multiplied. And here's the scary part for Nike when you look ahead. Right now, during the preseason, before a single 2026 snap, they're already overwhelmed. So what happens when the games actually start? What happens when Shedeur Sanders runs out there as QB1 for the Cleveland Browns, wearing number 2 in a real NFL game? What if he puts on a show that reminds everybody why Colorado Buffaloes football fans used to hold their breath every time he dropped back? What happens if Shedeur, who already made the Pro Bowl as a rookie, the first Browns QB to do it since Derek Anderson in 2007, takes that leap in year 2 and starts proving everybody wrong? Because if that happens, this current demand, it's gonna look light compared to what's coming. Nike is already bringing in outside partners just to manage the traffic. They're already in emergency mode before week 1 even hits. What they're dealing with right now is big. But what might they be dealing with by mid-season? That's the kind of pressure that keeps supply chain teams up at night. Think about it. Shedeur Sanders came into the league as the 144th pick. He wore a number that wasn't even his. He went 3-4 as a starter on a 5-12 team. He threw 10 picks that gave critics ammo, and he still outsold his entire draft class. He still made the Pro Bowl. He still created enough demand to put Nike in panic mode. Now he's got his number back, the one he built his brand on, the same number of Colorado Buffaloes football players retired, the same number tied to his entire identity. Number 2 is back on a Browns jersey, Sanders on the nameplate, and Nike is scrambling because the market already crowned it the hottest item in the league. The season hasn't even started, not one snap, and they're already overwhelmed. So when kickoff comes and Shedeur is under center in that number 2, the real question is, did Nike learn from this preseason chaos? Did they actually build enough supply for what's about to happen next? Because if they thought this demand was heavy now, they haven't seen anything yet. Number 2 is back, the fans know it, and Nike better be ready. Now I need to hear from y'all. Did you already grab that number 2 Shedeur jersey, or are you still waiting on the restock? Do you think Nike underestimated him, or was this just too big to predict? And for Browns fans, does getting number 2 back feel like the franchise saying he's the guy? Most importantly, do y'all think he ends up a top 3 jersey seller in the entire NFL by the end of 2026? Drop everything in the comments.